It's the first of the month, early. The coffee's still too hot to drink. Linda has a spiral notebook open in front of her. She does this first writes down one number. Her retirement balance. She'd been half watching a video on her phone, a man in a press shirt, mid-sentence, most people with $2 million. She paused it right there. 2 million. She looks down at her own number, 210,000. And just like that, at 63, she feels poor. Same as last year. Same as the 6 years before that. And here's what's strange. That giant number, the one that's made her feel behind for 6 straight years, has never once measured her. It measures somebody she's never sat in a room with. Half the people Linda's age, the ones who have a retirement account at all, have less than a certain number. And it isn't 2 million. It's the number the ads never read out loud. So what is it? And what happens to Linda the night she finally goes and finds it? Let's back up. Because Linda isn't careless. She's careful. Careful her whole life. Start with what she actually wants. She's not dreaming about a yacht or a beach in Portugal. Linda wants a Tuesday morning where she doesn't scrape frost off a windshield in the dark to go keep the books at a building supply company 2 mornings a week. That's it. That's her whole picture of retirement, a quiet Tuesday. There's a peace lily on the windowsill where she works. A co-worker gave it to her the week she started 11 years ago. That co-worker left the company years back. The plant's still there. Linda waters it on Fridays. And the number she believes stands between her and that Tuesday, 1 million. Maybe 2, to be safe. Now, where did that come from? Not from nowhere. For 30 years, every single time Linda saved another dollar, her future got a little safer. That part was real. Max out the plan, get the match, don't touch it. That advice was right. Every year she followed it. Nobody lied to her. For 30 years, building the number was the smart move. A big number felt like armor because for most of her life, it was. So here's what she does with that belief. Every first of the month, she writes down her balance. She glances at the number in whatever video is playing. She measures the gap and she tells herself the same 3 words. A few years. She's told herself that 6 times now. And in all the numbers Linda has ever written in that notebook, there's one number she has never written down. Not once. Her own social security check, the monthly figure. She's never looked it up. Hold on to that. Because that's the number that ends the story. One night, Linda does something small. Instead of tapping the next video, she opens the search bar and types one honest question. How much does the average 60-year-old actually have saved? Not the man in the press shirt, not the couple standing on a dock in the ad. The average person. Somebody like her. This is what she finds. The median retirement balance for households aged 55 to 64, the ones who have a retirement account at all, is $185,000. That's the Federal Reserve's Survey of Consumer Finances. Median means the middle. Half the people her age with an account have less than that. Linda has 210,000. Read that again. For 6 years, she thought she was hopelessly behind. She's above the middle. Let it sink in slowly, because this is the part nobody put in front of her. The number all the way across the country, every household counted 87,000. And that 2 to million figure, the one that made her feel small on the first of every month, fewer than 1 in 10 households her age have even 1 million, never mind 2. So walk it out with me. The number that made Linda feel poor for 6 years wasn't the number for most people. It wasn't the number for almost anyone. It was the number for a small group at the very top and for the people who make a living talking to that small group. And I want to be careful here, because this is not the system is out to get you. It isn't. There's a plain reason the 2 to million number is everywhere and the 185,000 number is nowhere. A lot of retirement content is a front door. It's there to find clients for financial advisors, and an advisor who's paid a percentage of what he manages has a good reason to want people with a lot to manage. So the content drifts naturally toward the big numbers because that's the profitable person to talk to. Nobody's lying. It's just that nobody gets paid to read Linda's number out loud. That's a gap, not a conspiracy. But the gap cost Linda 6 years of feeling behind. And what happened to her over those 6 years has a name. It's called anchoring. In plain English, your brain grabs the first big number it sees, and then it weighs everything else against that number, even when the number was never yours to begin with. Linda anchored to 2 million. Every balance she ever wrote down, she weighed against a stranger's figure. Of course, she felt poor. She was grading herself on the wrong scale. Here's the reframe, and it's the whole video. Linda's number was never 2 million. It was never a lump sum on a screen at all. The real question isn't, do I have a big enough pile? The real question is, does my monthly income floor cover what I actually have to pay each month? And this isn't a discipline problem. Linda didn't fail. Anchoring is how every human brain handles a big number, and the number her brain grabbed was built for somebody else. Knowing the name of the trap is how you take the wheel back. So she takes it back right there at the table. She flips to the inside cover of the notebook and writes down something she's never written. Her real must-pay expenses for 1 month. For Linda, and this is her number, one person's number, not a national figure, it's about $3,200. Rent, food, insurance, the car, the lights. Then she opens ssa.gov and pulls her own Social Security estimate. The number she'd never looked up, for her, again, her number, it's about $1,900 a month, guaranteed, for life, rises with inflation. She subtracts, and for the first time in 6 years, the number she's staring at isn't the distance to 2 million. It's a gap of about $1,300 a month. That's it. That's the whole thing, standing between her and that quiet Tuesday. $1,300 a month is a number a person can do something about. 2 million is a number you can only be afraid of. Linda didn't win the lottery that night. She didn't discover she was secretly rich. She discovered that for 6 years she'd been grading her life on a stranger's scale, and the real scale handed her a question she could actually answer instead of a number she could only dread. So what does Linda do with that? For 6 years, she'd been asking one question, do I have enough? And answering it with somebody else's number. The first thing she changes is the question itself. Before do I have enough, there's a question that comes first. Which number is even mine? She'd walk right past it for 6 years. Then comes the move almost no video makes. She subtracts her guaranteed income before she counts her pile. Her real savings target was never her expenses times some rule of thumb. It's what's left after Social Security and any pension. For a medium earner, Social Security replaces around 41% of pre-retirement income. That's the SSA's own figure. Not everything. But a real floor paid for life that climbs with inflation. Subtract that floor first, and the gap that used to terrify her shrank into something she could look straight at. There's a harder lesson underneath that one. Know where you actually stand before you believe anybody's comfort or anybody's alarm. 2 million means you've made it as true for fewer than 1 in 10 people her age. And that 185,000 median doesn't tell her she's fine either. It measures a balance. It doesn't measure whether she's okay. What it tells her is smaller and truer than either the comfort or the alarm. Wherever she's standing, she's not standing there alone. And the last thing, Linda never needed somebody to hand her permission to relax. She needed to know how far a $1,900 floor reaches into a $3,200 month. That answer, not a number on a screen, is what decides whether she works one more year or hands in her notice. Maybe Linda works one more year anyway, but this time it's her choice, with a real number in her hand, not a stranger's figure shoving her along. The peace lily's still on the sill. She hasn't decided everything, but she stopped measuring herself with somebody else's ruler. That's the part that changed. So here's the one thing I'd ask you to do, and it's free, and it takes 10 minutes. Do what Linda did. Pull your own Social Security estimate at ssa.gov. Write down your real must-pay expenses for 1 month. Subtract the first from the second. Look at your number, the actual gap, instead of a number some ad picked for you. You might be a lot closer to your quiet Tuesday than a stranger's ruler ever let you believe. If stories like Linda's are useful to you, subscribe. That's the kind of thing we do here. This is for education and entertainment only, not financial advice. For decisions about your situation, talk to a qualified fiduciary advisor, a CPA, or the SSA.